about a non-changing ball that we live on. Seasons change, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So,
I didn't
when
like
he
you or
said that
not.
it's
I
flat.
didn't like you or not. He's an authority.
Hmm?
I
How do I
said,
know?
I didn't like it or no, he's an authority.
how do I know that he's an
He's an
authority?
authority. No, I'm
whether
talking to
you
him
like it or
using the
not, he's
Globus Neil
an
deGrasse
authority.
Tyson.
Okay.
Mailman, if you don't think he's a valid authority versus other ones, that's fair if that's how you see it. But the thing is that this model that you're going off of is like everything you're providing is coming from that same authority structure, and he has a degree, and he's one of the educators for that model. You know what I'm saying? So it is all kind of looped in.
Sure. I can test the model against his words. So if he's wrong, he's wrong.
Okay, then what have you done to independently verify this globe model that you believe in?
Independently verified?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like made myself?
Well, I'm saying if you're not going to go off authorities and you're going to throw him out, maybe throw other authorities out. Yeah. What have you done to verify that this globe model is true?
Well, one thing I can see is observe sunsets, sunrises, and they look exactly the same on land with topography and on water with no topography. There's no difference. So it looks like it's going behind something. That's one thing. Then I've used the GPS and the Google Earth to navigate. Not too far, but I've validated parts of it, so I don't think that it's false in other parts, because people use it daily to navigate across the oceans.
Yeah, that
Also, I think
sunsets and sunrises are actually a good one, because that makes the globe model the default, because it actually observes the.
Nothing. You can't build. That's completely false. You can't build your knowledge upon celestial bodies. What we're asking you to prove what you stand on, not what you observe above you.
So you only, so you're asking only to take in part of the reality and not reality as a.
Well, really, it's obvious, because what is above you is completely. Just forget about it.
Yeah,
You
well, the sun
must
obviously isn't
prove
how much.
No, because you are
How much
looking.
above?
Your
Well, the sun
logic is
goes below
functioning
me.
backwardly. You can't do that, actually.
Okay, so how much above? Where does the line go? Can I take into account birds or clouds? Are those too high up? Maybe is my roof? Where is the line? 10
Oh.
meters, kilometer? Where should the line stop? Where we stop looking up?
Again,
Can we explain clouds? Is explaining how rain works?
Running away from the from the core purpose of the discussion. You must prove what you stand on. What you stand on. That's what I'm asking you to prove.
We have maps that work, and those form a sphere.
Really, forget no maps that work. Again, you must prove the globe.
Below.
Ridiculous.
If we know distances on the surface, then we can plot a shape from those distances.
Hmm.
And the headings also.
Can we actually use boats if boats go over the horizon? Because you could also say, well, the boat that goes over the horizon, it's not the surface, and we're talking about the surface. You cannot use boats. Can we do
And
that?
those are
Can we use
man-made,
boats?
so it's not natural.
Yeah. God damn it.
Well, if you see things like the sun cutting off from the bottom up in boats, I could understand if somebody wanted to think the Earth could be a globe, like could be possible. Okay, maybe those things are cutting off from a curvature of an Earth. So I mean, I understand where you're coming from on that. But my other question would be, what would happen on a flat Earth? Because if that also happens on a flat Earth, then all of a sudden that as proof for a globe goes out the window. Not to say that it is one or the
No,
other,
it
but what I'm
doesn't.
saying is that
Yeah, not
if it would only happen on one and not the other, then maybe it would be an indication of that. But if it would happen on both, then it really isn't one or the other.
the simplest explanation is the globe, because you can, I mean, you need nothing. You just need a sphere and an object going away. The necessary antecedent would be the bottom of obstruction.
And you need gravity.
No,
flat
I'm
Earth,
just talking about bottom of obstruction. I don't need gravity for that.
distant objects.
Yeah, but where do you get the
also-
sphere from?
Well, fucking relative density then. That's
On the
for
flat
me.
Earth,
You need gravity,
distant
bro.
objects will also vanish into the horizon because of
object
two
will
things.
vanish?
Because of perspective, them getting more distant and small, and also because when you're looking, like, let's say, at the ocean, right? As the objects get more distant and smaller, the waves in front, it will begin to vanish, not from the top up, but from the bottom, because that's the farthest you can see. They'll vanish down and not up. And when they vanish down, the waves in front of the object will begin to, and the waves in front of the object, let's say half a mile, will begin to blend in with the object. So it could look
But
like
then,
it could
but then
look
it
like
wouldn't
it's a globe,
be
but
uniform.
you're just inserting that. It would be the same thing on the flat.
Yeah, I don't think that works for two reasons. First of all, if we actually take a position and a vantage point above the waves, then that kind of stops working. And also the same observations can be done over flat land, which means that
Yeah.
it's not waves.
Yeah, well, you can look at a video of a small boat, like a toy boat. It would also vanish in the horizon by the waves within like 60 feet, and that's how
Yeah,
you
so
know.
if we can do it on just land and not water, then it's not waves because there's normally no waves on dry
But
land.
how do you verify flat land over 5 miles? Can you
That
do
is
that?
actually a good question, and it is our proposal that it actually is tiny bit curved, and that's what causes it.
Well, you have to confirm that it's flat, and I don't see how you can do that. The water is supposed to be flat, according to. I'm sorry, the water is supposed to be flatter. It's supposed to form to a sphere, actually, according to the globe, right?
Well, that's actually exactly right, and that's why we use water. But we can still debunk the idea that it's the waves causing it, because if you actually elevate the observer high enough that it's cannot be the waves, because you can actually calculate that.
If you elevate the observer,
Okay,
you're still gonna have a farther horizon, right? Because you can see farther, right?
for example, let's say an
The same
observer
thing's
at
gonna
one
happen, but farther away. That's what I'm saying.
an observer at 1 kilometers and 1 meter waves cannot then block a let's say a 5 kilometer mountain.
They can.
No,
can
they
at
cannot.
horizon.
If you're saying they can, then you don't know.
That's because when the object vanishes, let me ask you, does it vanish from the top or the bottom?
Typically not the top. If it's
Right.
inverted, like if, for example,
don't
I
say-
stand
don't
on my
say
head, I
inverted.
might disappear from my top, which
Don't
is
say
the head.
inverted. We're not doing that. This is legit, right? So you have to understand that a globe and flat will have some similar results.
Sure,
In this
but
case,
it's
I'm
still
saying
not waves.
two things.
Yeah.
I'm saying it would vanish from the bottom up on a flat. Okay, that's the first thing I'm saying. The second thing I'm saying is you will have some blockage of the waves in front of the object as the picture, let's say it's a boat, vanishes. It blends into the horizon. The horizon becomes one with the boat at a distance on a flat. So yes, the waves in front will block it to some degree if there's waves. If there's
we can do away with the waves because we can admit that the waves are not the majority of what causes it. And as for you saying that on flat it would disappear from the bottom up and not the top up, Why?
Because you can observe it with streetlights. You notice how distant streetlights, let's say 2 blocks of streetlights, start heading down into the horizon.
Sure.
They head down. Do they go up or down? They head down right into the middle of the horizon. Just keep
Yeah,
following that line.
Sure.
Keep following that line. It'll go all the way to the floor. Fact.
Yeah, but the
Because
problem
common
with that
sense.
is the problem with that is if I have let's say a straight lines for 100 meters and let's say 2 meters distance apart. Let's say we have 50 street lights. None of those would actually start disappearing from the bottom up. So when you actually extrapolate from that, the flat Earth rule then would be no object would disappear from the bottom up, and that's not what we observed in the
I've seen
research.
it done with Legos.
Yeah, well, if you have seen it done with Legos, then there was some sort of
Line up
misdirection. There was some
400
sort of
Legos
lie involved.
on the gymnasium floor, and the Legos will vanish into the ground from the bottom up.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
seen
You
it.
can, you can do this on a small scale in a bunch of different ways. You can
Well,
do it
hang on,
like
no,
that.
let
You
me-
can
let
do
me-
it
let me
over
finish.
over
Let me
water.
finish. I
Yep.
want him to line up 400 Legos on a gym floor that's relatively flat. They will vanish into the ground.
Relatively flat or flat.
It's relatively flat. It's a gym floor. You can pick one. You can find your own gym floor, right?
You can measure
The
it
point
level
is-
Yeah,
too.
so
a level
I'm-
floor. You can
You're
measure
gonna
a
get the
flat
same
floor.
kind of thing where you can zoom in and get more of the Lego, and at some point you can't get it anymore.
Yeah, so
Okay.
here's what
And
I've
listen,
seen.
wait. It's not vanishing from the top of the Lego. It's blending in from the bottom of the Lego. That's my whole point.
Of course, if the surface is curved, it's gonna curve at the bottom and not the
It's a gymnasium. Why would it
Well,
be curving?
yeah. You said that it's sort of flat. No, you didn't say it's flat.
It's a gymnasium.
Yeah, it's a gymnasium. I know, it's a gymnasium.
When
So,
he says
here's what
gymnasium, he means like a basketball court.
It's a basketball
That's-
court.
Yeah, that's what he means.
It's a wooden leveled basketball court in a high school gymnasium. The ones that you
Yep.
build with wooden floors, you have to have a level. If there wasn't
Yeah,
level, the
wooden-
ball would
wooden floors.
roll to the corner of the gymnasium. It wouldn't work for a basketball game.
Depends on the amount of curvature actually. So and actually wooden structures live. So yeah, you wouldn't necessarily expect from a wooden surface for it to not live.
It'll
and
still
not
work
be
if you
sort-
if you verify it level with whatever tools you want. It's still gonna do that.
Well, one of the most decent examples of this that I've seen done was someone did this with a carefully machined stone surface, which was flat as bloody fuck. And of course, what they observed when they tried to do that was nothing disappeared from the bottom up. So that somehow shows that on the flat Earth that wouldn't happen. I can maybe look at that up and see if I remember who that was.